Hey guys, welcome back, it's Sarah. I've been getting a lot of requests for an updated everyday look, and the look I've been going for recently is heavily inspired by a lot of girls that I see on Pinterest. It's flirty lashes, big lips, the type of makeup that's very glam but still very subdued. Like you look sexy but approachable. It's very it girl, think Kendall Jenner and Madison Beer. I feel like this makeup looks beautiful in photos and in real life. So I just want to do a very detailed step-by-step tutorial on how to get a perfect smooth base, big lashes, big eyes, plump lips. This is very similar to my everyday look plus a little extra. So if you want to see a step-by-step tutorial, please keep watching. So of course I'm starting off with my full skincare prep with sunscreen so your skin is protected. I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I don't know why I didn't really get into this foundation when it first launched, but I recently started using it again and I am so in love. I like to warm up all my products on the back of my hand before applying it. You guys probably know I'm a huge fan of the Estee Lauder foundation, and this foundation formula I heard through the grapevines is very, very similar to the Estee Lauder one. I think it's similar, except this one is even more skin-like and blends a little bit better than the Estee Lauder foundation, so I really love it. Although this foundation typically has more of a yellow undertone, I really like that because it helps correct a lot of the redness I usually get, and this has just been my go-to base for any look I'm doing. It looks like skin, it stays looking so perfect throughout the day, and I just love it. Huge fan. Also, I want to get adventurous and start using brushes for my foundation, and one tip I have, especially if you have dry or sensitive skin, always blend your foundation with a sponge. Personally, when I use a brush, I tend to get a lot more breakouts, I get a lot more dry patches because the bristles can irritate your skin, but using a sponge has been perfect for me. For concealer, I always use two shades. One is closer to my foundation shade, so I would use it just to hide any redness or pimples like that. And then I like to use a lighter concealer just to brighten my under eyes. And I like to drag this down to the side of my nose. So the brighter this area is, the more I can kind of pinch my nose in. It's a technique people like to do with baking, but I just use a concealer and then I just blend it all out. I've seen a lot of people apply their concealer, blush, contour all in one go and then blend it all together, and that to me always looks muddy, and your cream product also has a little bit of time to dry, so it's a little bit less blendable. So I just like to do it layer by layer and get everything perfect before applying the next layer. As you can see with the under eye concealer, I don't apply it all the way to the lash line. And the reason for that is because there's a little bit of creasing that happens when I apply too much product underneath the eyes. And I also want the mid-face area to be the brightest part of my face. I find that that just looks the most natural. And one thing I incorporated more into my makeup is just using a setting spray with every layer of makeup. This just helps me make sure that everything is seamlessly blended before I go to the next layer. I'm also brightening my brow bone just a little bit, like that. And as you can see, there's a little bit of separation on my nose, so I like to take a little bit of concealer and just melt that into the nose. This is the only thing with the big sponge, is you can't really get into all the crevices as well, so this is a good little fix. Okay, for powder, you guys are probably tired of me talking about the one size powder, but it truly is the best powder there is. The only thing is setting powders have not developed much in terms of packaging. It's always so messy. I really wish someone would make a better packaging so it's not so messy. I just take the one size powder, tap off the excess, and lightly powder just underneath the eyes. Look at how smooth this side looks now. Now we have a smooth canvas. And then I like to just take a pressed powder. I like using the Too Faced Born This Way Soft Blur. This is also the powder I usually take with me for touch-ups. I just do a little bit of this, wipe off the excess, and then press it right underneath the eyes. And this blurs the under eye even more. And if you have any type of creasing or anything, it just flattens and smooths this entire area. Like, look at this. This foundation routine has been my go-to. I love how it looks. And this is a product I can't show you guys yet. But I do the same thing. I apply it on the back of my hand, and then layer by layer, I dab it onto where I want the contour to sit and a little bit on the jawline. It just brings that color back into my skin. And I'm using the same contour on my nose as well. Now that my full face is contoured, it's time for blush. One blush I've been using a lot of is, of course, the SACHEU Beauty Cheek Stain, but specifically in the shade I'm Playful. I've just been loving a beautiful coral, almost orange blush for spring and summer. I just do a little bit right on the cheek, and I like to bring it all the way up to the forehead as well. So I just look a little sunburnt. Also, I get it close to the eye, to the temple, and then I like to apply whatever's left just right on my nose. Not on the tip, but on the nose bridge, because I think that gives a little bit more of a sunburnt look. When it's right on the nose tip, it looks more like you've been sneezing a lot. I love this blush. Next, I want to get started on the lips, and my everyday lip liner recently has been the shade Nude. I like to use the shade Pink for winter, but now I'm feeling the nude a bit more. Gorgeous. And while we wait for that to dry, I'm gonna get started on my brows. Okay, and the brows are done. I like to just keep them relatively thin and straight. I know not a lot of people love it, but I love it. And then I'm just curling my lashes. They're still growing out a little bit. I permed them about a month ago, but you can see a lot of the lashes are growing straight down now. For lashes, I've been using this combo lately. The Too Faced Better Than Sex Foreplay, which is a lash primer that makes your lashes stay up, but it's black. So you can honestly just use this by itself if it's like a no makeup day. I like to use this on my bottom lashes as well. I don't like my bottom lashes to be too heavy, so I like to use the lash primer on my bottom lashes. And then I follow up with this ribbon wrapped lash, which is a tubing mascara. And you guys know I almost exclusively use tubing mascaras now because they don't smudge. And this is what it looks like. My lashes look so much bigger, and trust me, I don't have a lot of lashes to begin with. And then what I like to do is to use one of these Ardell pre-mapped extensions in Wispy. So these are very similar to the Ardell Demi Wispies, which I used so much of in college. I went through a pack a week, but these are actually cut up into clusters, and they're also pre-mapped, so you get different lengths. So if I'm doing a full glam, I'll do the full lash, but if it's just a light makeup day, I like to do maybe 1 or 2 clusters on the outer corners just to lift the eye a little bit. Like just right underneath the lash. I'm just doing 11 and 12. I just added 2 clusters and look at the difference. Okay, now the lashes are on. I'm gonna take a little bit of the contour and just dab this on the outer corner of my eye. Also, I've been trying out different contacts lately, so I'm gonna use Aquarella Golden Ochre. And then I'm just gonna peel off my lip liner and then top off the lips with Bunny Tongue. And this is my updated everyday glam. So that is it. I love how the look turned out. I feel like a celebrity when I have this glam on. It's a lot of the techniques I do every day, plus a little extra, so it's the perfect natural glam. I love this look. If you try it out, please tag me. I would love to see it. I have all the products I use listed in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.